This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, can you lead me to share my screen first?
Okay, Helena, do you see the go-to meeting? You see all of our names on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, if you go bring your arrow down, there should be a button, like 4 buttons. One of them is mic, the other one is camera, and
Yes.
the other one is screen. You click on screen, then I think you can share your.
Okay, I see the screen button, but there is a sentence that to share my screen, I should ask to you to the organizer to make me as presenter. So can
Okay,
you lead me to to be as presenter first?
Okay, done.
Nah, okay. Thank you very much, Shandal. So
problem.
okay. 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 Yes. Good morning, everyone. So today we will continue our lesson. So for the last week, we already learned about income statement and balance sheet. And so for today, we will learn about financial ratio analysis. So here we go. Okay. Many people, if do the business, I think a lot of people wants to get the success. I think you agree with this statement. So if you search in YouTube website, you will see that so much people try to learn about how to measure success in the business. Here we go. Let's see this one. How many views on this video? Wow, it's amazing how many people to see how do the business measure success. So people want to success in business. So we will learn about ratio analysis. What's the purpose to learn ratio analysis? There is 3 minimal the purpose of ratio analysis. The first is to compare the performance or to see the performance of the business, maybe with the previous records, the last period of business, and then to make sure that the business is on healthy. So we will healthy check with the business, and then to make sure and to complete our information with our business in quantitative process. If we get the qualitative, so we will have to know about the quantitative process. So the next, there are 2 kind of ratio analysis, 2 areas. The first is profitability, and the second one is liquidity. So today we will learn about profitability. Profit, it's, I think you are ready with the word profit. Profit is to make our business profit. So the profitability is ratio that focus on how well a firm or a business in performing. Profit margins measure performance with relation to sales. So we will compare the profit with the sales or revenue. The first ratio is gross profit margins. So the first ratio, I will give it some clues for each ratio. So on the worksheet today, you will make some note for our learning about ratio analysis. So make it clear with the clue that our present today. So the first is gross profit margins. It shows how efficiently a business is using its materials and labor in the production process. So this is percentage of sales revenue, which is gross profit. So there are sales revenue and gross profits. Sales revenue and gross profit already we learned it on the last meeting when we learn about income statement and balance sheet statement. Gross profit is the sales revenue minus cost of sales. And the sales revenue is total value of sales made. Okay, this is for gross profit margin. So there are two main gross profit and sales revenue. And the next is marking up. This is percentage added to the cost to create profit. So gross profit measured as percentages of cost of sales. And the clues is the largest the markup, the greater of gross profit. The largest the markup, the greater of gross profit. The third is net profit margin. It shows the proportions of every pound of sales is left after all expenses have been paid and remains as profit. So this is percentage of sales revenue, which is net profit. There are the key is net profit and sales revenue. Net profit is sales revenue minus all operating costs of the business. And sales revenue is value of sales made. And the loss is return of capital employed or ROCE. This is a percentage figure representing profit before interest against the money that is invested in the business. So, for example, if the business is unable to generate a higher return of capital employed than the prevailing rate of interest, it could be argued that the firm should close down or sell off its asset and put the money in the bank. Operating profit is measure of profit which an organization earns on its normal operations, excluding an extraordinary or exceptional items. And the capital employed, the value of resources available to the company. So if you are see the balance sheet, capital employed is already on balance sheet. So we will go to the worksheet and I'm already already sent the link to use the Jamboard. So let me share on my chat box so you can join to us. Okay, I will stop sharing first and then I will send you the link for the worksheet. Okay. Any question first before we go to the Jamboard?
Not from me. You're going to show us the next step, Helena? Yeah, you're going to share it
Yeah.
with us? Okay, thank you.
Yes. I will share it to you so you can join to our Jamboard. Okay. And then I will share my screen to the Jamboard. Okay. Can you see our Jamboard? Mr. Toro and Miss Gallo, can you see? Okay. Can you see our Jamboard? Yeah, okay. This is our worksheet today. So based on the clue that already I'm present before, you can join to this Jamboard to fill in the worksheet. So the net profit margin can use you can use a sticky note here and write on the box for net profit margin, gross profit margin, and so on. This is for return on capital employed, and the last is for markup. So can you join to us to make some note with the sticky note here to write on the Jamboard, please? Or maybe it's confused with my clue.
Okay, Helena.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, thank you. Please.
Oh, sorry if my answer is wrong. Please correct it.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay, I see the sticky note here. Okay, net. Okay, for the net profit margin. Okay, net profits divided by revenue times 100. Okay, for the next, can you join to me with the Jamboard, please? The other one. I don't know who's else in this meeting, so I don't see the name here. Maybe the other one. Okay. Yeah. Let me give some okay, thank you. This is for gross profit margins. Great. Okay, I will give some score. Okay. Okay, it's great. So how about the next one? Return on capital employed and markup. Based on my clue, return on capital employed is and markup. Markup is how we get the profit, the markup. And for the return of capital employed, so it's based on capital employed that already we can see it on balance sheet, capital employed. Okay, return on capital employed and markup. Okay. Anybody can make it more clear? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for fill the box of return on capital employed. Yeah. Net profit before interest. Net profit before interest and tax. Yeah. Net profit before interest and tax divided by capital employed. Okay, that's great. And the last one is for markup. How about markup? Okay. How about markup? Okay. Thank you for filling the box. This is Mr. Apriantoro. Thank you very much. Gross profit divided by cost of sales. Yes. And times 100, of course. Okay, I will give you the perfect score, mark 10. Thank you very much. So, net profit margin is net profit divided by revenue or sales revenue times 100. And gross profit margin, gross profit divided by revenue, sales revenue times 100. It's so to us that it's percentage. And then return on capital employed, net profit before interest and tax, divided by capital employed times 100. And the last one is markup, gross profit divided by cost of sales. So for the last worksheet, okay, this is the problem for the Jack and Jill's public limited company, that they are already have the counting informations extract from the balance sheet and extract from income statement and other information. So in the last task, you have to count the gross profit margin, net profit margin, and the return on capital employed at year first and the year one and the year two. So this one from the balance sheet we will use for gross profit margin is gross profit, income statement, gross profit, and the sales revenue. Gross profit 15 divided by 75 on sales revenue times 100. Okay, is it clear? I think it's so easy for you. Gross profit margin, year one and year two. How about the other? I think my student only Apriantoro. How about the other student? Can you join with me to fill in the box here with the sticky note? Okay, to write down here. Okay, that's great. Nah, that's great. Perfect, perfect. Sorry, I make it so small for the box for the table. So yeah, can you see? Can you see? Can you see here? I think it's okay. Okay, okay. For the year 2, for the year 2, so it's okay. For the year 2 is gross profit is 80 divided by 80. Okay, can you count for me? Eighty divided 18 divided by 80. So it's between.
I need time to answer, Helena.
Okay, it's okay. How about the other? How about the other? Can you help? Can you help me to answer this big problem for the Jack and Jill Public Limited Company? That's great. Okay, thank you very much. So the change is 2.5%. Yes. How about improve and worse? Is it improve or worsen? How about this one? The change is 2.5%. So yes, it is improved. It is improved 2.5%.
Yes, I think it's improved.
Yes, improve. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Yes, thank you very much. I move to the next box. Yeah. Any question for this worksheet, everyone?
I'm fine,
No,
thank
no
you.
questions from me.
No question. Thank you very much. And the net profit margin and the net profit margins. How about the net profit margins? Can you see from the data where we get the net profit? Where we get the net profit? Is it from balance sheet or income statement? Net profit. Where we get the net profit, everyone? Yeah, we get the net profit from the income statement. Net profit, it's from gross profit minus by expenses. Gross profit minus by expenses. So the net profit at year 1 is 10, and for year 2 is 13. And don't forget to divide it with the sales revenue. The sales revenue, year 1, the sales revenue is 20. 75, and year 2 is 80. Okay. Okay. Who's okay? I don't know. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Let me make it clear. So the 10 divided by 75 times 100 is around 30.33, I think. Yeah, 33, I think. Yeah. Okay, so this is 33. Let me make it clear. Okay, so I can edit it. Nah, like it. I can edit it like this one. Oh, don't forget about the percent. Nah. Okay. The same way with the same way we can count the year 2 for the net profit margins. So it's that like this one. Okay. Within the year 2. Okay. 13 divided by 18. You can use your calculator to count the ratio. I think it's okay if you count with calculator. And okay.
Helena,
Yes.
Helena, sorry to interrupt. If you are happy to do that, I can see how you are building this exercise. If you want to move
Yes.
to the final part of your lesson, because I think we all know how to calculate them, and I'm happy for you to do it. I can see how you're going to do this and how you're going to work with the students. If that's okay with everyone, I'm happy for you to move on. And yeah, so we've got some time for Toro's lesson as well. Yeah, so if you just want to skip to the final part, that'd be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hilke. So I think it's clear for the task. And this is our recap for today. The first is purpose of profitability ratio. Then the next is gross profit margin, markup, net profit margin, and the return of capital employed. Okay, I think it's enough. And if you have any question with this profitability ratio, please feel free to chat me on my email, or you can hit me on my number. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day. Thank you. I can stop my share screen right now. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Helena. That was really. I'm already pinching one of your ideas. Okay. So I don't know. Do you want me to leave the feedback until the end for both of them, or Chandel, what is the plan? Shall we maybe listen to Laura's lesson first, and then I give feedback to both of them at the end?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Also, Hilke, the participant named course, that's actually the teacher from Taiwan, Miss Teacher Xiao.
Okay, so she can be the third one to present her lesson then. That's okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so I will make Taro the presenter. Okay.
Okay, I will.
Have you seen my presentation? I cannot.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for Hilke for the opportunity. So that I can do the demo lesson. I will start my teaching practice right now. So today we are going to learn new chapter, and it's about liquidity. Well, guys, I will start now. Nggak bisa next. Oh, dah. Okay. I will explain about liquidity. What is liquidity? Liquidity is a ratio allow you to measure the ability of a business to be able to pay its short-term debt. You need to revise current and the liquid capital ratio and how to calculate them. Well, guys, How many of type with the liquid ratio do you know? Helena, you can help me?
Yeah.
How many type of liquid ratio do you know?
I think it's two types of liquidity. Oh, liquidity ratio.
Okay.
Two types.
There are two type of liquidity ratio. Number first is current ratio and liquidity ratio. Current ratio first is a current ratio. Current ratio is this also known as the working capital ratio. It measures a business asset compared to its liability and show whether a business is being managed properly. Uh, the current ratio is the level of the ability of a company to be able to use a current asset to pay all liability or current liabilities. It's all about a current ratio. So this is calculated using the following formula. Current ratio equal a current asset divided by current liability. What about the liquid liquidity ratio? Liquidity ratio is sometimes known as the liquidity ratio or the test ratio. It removes inventory from the calculation as this may be difficult to quickly turn into cash to pay a debt. The liquid ratio, the level, is company ability to buy short-term debt using a current asset without taking into account inventories because these inventories require a long process to be cashed out compared to the other asset. It's about liquidity ratio. This is calculated using the following formula. Liquidity ratio equal current asset minus inventory divided by current liabilities. This is the formula for the liquid ratio. Next, nah, for this section, we are going to do a matching game. So guys, I need your help to make the following sentence. Helena, you can help me because there are not so much many people in this presentation. I have a games. It's matching game. There are which one the statement is correct with the sentence in the other column. We will start. Number one is current asset. Helena, which of the statement is correct with the sentence in the other column?
Okay. I think
You can.
okay. So, should I choose one of um the choice from A until H, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
A, the other.
So for the current asset is, I think it's A.
A. Okay, let's see.
Cash equivalent, accounts receivable, stock inventory, and prepaid liabilities.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, current asset is cash equivalent, account receivable, stock inventory, and prepaid liability. Okay, number two. Number two, the level of the ability of a company to be able to use current asset to pay all liability or current liability. Which one?
Okay, I think it's current ratio.
Current ratio. Okay, let's see current ratio. Okay, right. Current ratio. Next is fixed asset.
So I think fixed asset is all of the asset that we can use more than 1 year. So it is a B.
A B. Okay. Let's see. Yes, it's a B. Property, plant, and equipment. Next, the level of a company ability to pay short-term debt using current asset without taking into account inventories.
I think it's liquidity ratio.
Liquidity ratio. Okay, right. Next slide. We are going to next slide. This is liquidity ratio. A company has current asset of 10 million rupiah and current liabilities of 5 million. So the current ratio of the company is, you can see my last slide tadi.
Okay. Let me count it first because I need oh, I think I don't need calculators because
It's easy to
yes,
have.
it's so easy. So the current ratio for the company is B,
B. Okay.
2.0.
Okay. The answer is B. Okay, right. And the last, the Maju Jaya company has current asset of 20 million, inventory of 2 million, and current liabilities 6 million. Then the quick ratio is,
Okay, let me count it first because we have to minus with
okay,
the inventory. The current asset minus inventory and divide by current liabilities. So the answer is C,
C 3.
3.0.
Okay, let's see. The answer is C. Right. Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. This is the end of the part today. See you next. Any question?
Um, I think it's enough, sir, for today. Thank you very much.
Okay. So is this is the end of my presentation, Shandel and Hilke?
Taro, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Toro. I've made some notes and really good bits. Once again, I'm probably gonna steal some of your ideas later on. Okay, thank you very much. Shall we have a look at? Oh, I'm probably pronouncing this name wrong now. Chandel, do you want to do it? Next teacher.
Sure. Can
Ready
I
to
get
start?
Miss
Was it
Xiao
she?
present? Hi, Miss Xiao. If you can, here, I will make you the presenter. Hold on.
Sindel.
Hi, Chloe.
Hi, this is Chloe speaking. Teacher Xiao just informed me that she can share the screen, so I might well use my computer to help her to share the screen.
Okay, then I will make you the presenter. No problem.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Is everybody can see my screen? Is it too big or?
That's
No,
perfect.
it's fine.
Thank you very much.
It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, let me check with Miss Xiao if she can start to speaking because her computer might be still not good enough at school. So I tried to ask her to change to her phone or laptop, anything.夏老师，请问您现在是有办法说话的吗？ Okay, you have to try to turn on your microphone because you still mute yourself.
Maybe I can try to unmute her from my side. Hold on.
Okay. I think I get her meaning. She means she doesn't have microphone to speak up. So I think I will ask her to do the recording and we will send the video to Helga. I'm so sorry about this part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes, that's it. Mm.
But not what does it not work? I mean, didn't you talk to us earlier?
no, she came. I think she doesn't have a microphone on her end.
Okay, no,
So,
Yes.
that's fine then.
Yes.
What I suggest I do now is then I give feedback. Are they happy to for me to give them feedback in front of the others? Is that
okay? Let me ask. Mr. Toro and Miss Herlina, is it okay if Hilke gives you feedback for your presentation, or you would prefer she write her comments and send it to you in private?
Sure, it's okay. I think it's okay if Hilko wants to give some feedback. I'm happy to see the feedback.
Okay, then I think Hilke, you can go ahead. It's okay.
yeah, there's no need to be worried about anything, Helena. Like I said, there's some really good ideas. There's obviously a few bits that just suggestions from me that I would maybe look at. So, oh, can I do this now? I think I need to present now. So let me try. Do I just click on the screen? Can I do that? Just click on the screen icon. Is that how I present? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Oh, Chandel, it says here you have to make me the presenter. Because I've sort of typed my feedback. I think that might be a good idea if you make me the presenter, then they can read as I talk through it. That's it. Thank you. Okay. Let me just move this. Sorry. Oops. Can I move this out of the way a bit? Yes, I think I can. I'm going to scroll in as well. Okay. Collapse. Yeah, that's better. Okay. How's that for size for everybody? Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so Helena, first of all, big well done. Like I said, with both of your lessons, Toro and Helena, there's some really nice ideas that I'm probably going to steal, if that's okay, because I've been doing this for years, and you get a bit into a bit of a rut. You repeating yourself all the time, and it's really nice and interesting for me to get some fresh ideas from sort of new teachers that are much younger than I am. So thank you very much for that. So what I've done is I've split the feedback into the sort of the three, what I always call the three main parts of a sentence. There's always like an introduction phase, isn't there, where you're trying to engage the student and trying to sort of set the background for the lesson and sort of the basic terms. Then there's the main part where you do the new stuff. And then there is a section, there should be a section at the end where you have a bit of a lesson summary, recap, link to next session. So that's what I've sort of split my feedback into. And that, in terms of structure, that's what I would always recommend the lesson should contain. Okay, so for the introduction phase, Helena, I thought it was really good that you had a revision part of the previous weeks, so you reminded them what you've learned before. However, what I always think in that phase is you sort of just said to them, this is what we've done before, but I think it's better to include either a short quiz or a Jamboard here. And it's a really nice opportunity to actually revise some key terms that you're going to be needing for introducing the profitability ratios. So I'm thinking things like profit and loss, gross profit, net profit, sales revenue, and capital employed. These are the key terms, aren't they? They need to know from the profitability. And if you think about it, because you would have introduced the end of year statements before, they actually know these terms already. So this could be a quick matching exercise, like I said, or a Jamboard if you want to, or maybe a Kahoot quiz, something like that. I personally would probably favor something like a Jamboard or a matching exercise to the Kahoot, because then you can create a screen and go back to it every time in the lesson, and it will show the key terms. So if there's ever a bit of doubt, or the students have forgotten them at any point of the lesson, you can go back to that little summary that you've created at the beginning. I really liked, I've always called that an appetizer. I don't know, are you familiar with the term? It's basically, an appetizer is when you have a meal. It's a little bit of food that sort of gets you in the mood for the rest of the meal. So I think it's a term that's quite commonly used for getting the students switched on and getting them sort of into the lesson. And I really like the engaging images that you used on your introductory slides. I think images are so important for students in terms of sort of getting them interested and getting them engaged in the lesson. I thought you explained the purpose of financial ratios really well. Just note, you've called it, I think, a healthy check. It would be called a health check. Yeah, okay. So because it's a check of the health of the business, and the word healthy doesn't work, so just change that in your slide. Okay.
Okay.
It was a good revision of the basic terms then that followed, but like I said, see advice above. Why not get the students a bit involved in that and make that a matching exercise, because they already know these terms, don't they? Gross profit, net profit, revenue, and like I said, I think I've included capital employed up here as well. They already know these terms, so you should be able to get so tap into that previous knowledge with your students in this part. I think somebody is talking, but I can't probably hear it.
Hold on, let me see if I can mute it.
I wasn't quite sure whether somebody was trying to ask a question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to carry on? Yeah.
Teachers, do you have any questions?
Oh.
No, okay. Afterwards, I'm happy to share this document where I've taken my notes with Chandel as well, and she can pass that on to you too. Okay. For the main part, I thought you explained the ratios really well. I thought it was a really good idea to use the Jamboard for summarizing the theory of profitability, which you specialized on, and it was a good call not to try and do any more than profitability ratios in one lesson. I think you've seen that it's quite time consuming to get that theory through, in particular as it would be 4 ratios. I did say if you want to cut out the markup, you can. It won't be part of the exam. So if I put that here, note markup won't be part of the exam, so you could leave that out. Yeah, so just as a note, but if you want to introduce it, that's fine as well. Okay. So one thing that I struggled a bit, that might just be my eyesight and the fact that I'm working on my home PC, which is actually a laptop with quite a small screen, and I split it because I was trying to type this up at the same time. But I found the font quite on the writing quite small. I don't know whether anybody else with maybe a bigger screen had the same impression. So I would say on that first Jamboard, use the whole page, use all the space you've got on the screen to make it as big as possible for the students to see. Okay, so that would be my advice there. But I really like the idea of the Jamboard and how you developed the ratios there. So it was a good idea to use that Jamboard. Sorry. Oh, no, that was wrong. Sorry, if you're typing this up quickly, to use that Jamboard for practicing the calculation in an online session, because it's a good idea. It's almost like the students are writing something on the board, isn't it? And so I think this tool for us now having to move to online lesson is really a good one to use and a really good idea. So you can ask the students actually to calculate the ratios and practice them. And obviously, once you move back into class, you could consider doing this on the board at the front of the class, or give the students a bit of paper that may be pre-populated with a table like you did on the Jamboard for them to take notes. Okay. Once again, I think you even said that yourself, Helena. I would say the font was possibly a bit small. That was my only issue with it. So I couldn't actually check whether the calculation was correct because I simply couldn't see them. I don't know whether Tara had the same issue.
Yeah. I know.
And I think you realised that yourself, didn't you, sort of halfway through? So just find a way to just make that a little bit bigger.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I really like the way you were encouraging taught students with positive reinforcement. That's always really, really good. My advice would be, however, maybe use question and answer. We call that Q&A, by the way. Question and answer is where you sort of ask a question and the students answer, and you sort of build the content from there. So I would advise to use it more in the early stages of the lesson. And something else to consider maybe, and that would possibly solve the issue with the space a bit as well, consider practicing each ratio before moving on to the next, and that would give you more space on the slide as well, wouldn't it, for students to see. And then they get their head around one ratio and then move on to the next, and use an exercise for practicing all in context together as a homework task after. Okay. For the last bit, you did include a summary sort of recap at the end. But once again, I would advise to use Q&A. Remember, that was question and answer with the student. What have you learned, or some sort of guiding questions here, point out important issues. And it would also be a really good idea to set a homework task, because with something like these calculations and formula, sort of repetition in terms of homework is really, really important for the students to learn them. Remember, they have to memorize them for the exam, and for them to actually practice using them quickly as well. Okay, so I would maybe develop a homework task that then practices all the 3 or 4 ratios that you've introduced on that day. And also make sure that there's a link to the next lesson. So what can the students expect in the next lesson? I would have thought that's probably the liquidity ratios. Yeah, so you could go back to the beginning where you said, okay, ratios, they are profitability ratios, but they're also liquidity ratios. We know the profitability ratios now. In the next lessons, we're going to get to know liquidity and what that's all about. Yeah, so just so the students know, okay, this is, I'm going to do my homework task, and this is what I'm going to can expect for my next lesson. Any questions, Helena?
Yeah, thank you for the feedback.
Mhm.
I think I have no question. It's so clear, and my problem, actually still in language because English it's not my not my main language. So I'm sorry if
Yeah.
there
Oh,
are so many mistakes.
yeah, don't worry about that, Helena.
Yeah,
Did you understand what I say? What I just said, was that all clear, or do you want me to recap anything? Anything you said? Oh, I'm not quite sure what Hilke was talking about there.
yeah, but yeah, uh, get I can get what the meaning of of this feedback. Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
I mean, you don't know this, but English is not actually my first language. I'm German,
Oh
and
yeah.
I can completely relate. I've been there once. I've been living in the country for 20 years now, so
Wow.
obviously, I'm quite good now. But I started out, not with people around me talking, and I'm thinking, oh, what is he talking about? I couldn't understand it, so I can completely relate. Yeah.
So I think I will move to to Plymouth maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Toro, shall
Yeah.
we move on to you?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, you're welcome, Helena. Toro, are
Yeah.
you ready for your feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Okay, I can't actually see the chat box at the moment, but I'm guessing he is. Okay, so your topic was financial ratio analysis again, but the liquidity ratio this time. So I thought it was really nice. I don't know whether you talk to each other, but I think it was a really good idea to do something different, and you can help each other with these lesson concepts as well, if you like to, because there's no need to reinvent the wheel every time for every lesson if you can get ideas from somebody else. So let's have a look. For introduction, I liked your starter slide. I thought it was an engaging image with the sort of that boat floating in money, I called that here. Obviously liquidity is where you need cash available. So I actually thought that was a really nice image to use to get students interested in what this lesson is all about. What I thought at the beginning, I think you went straight into it, didn't you, Toro? So I would advise to revise key terms like current assets, current liabilities, and closing inventory or stock, because those are the key figures that you need for the liquidity ratio. So once again, the students should know these terms because they have already done the end of year statements. So why not consider a quick matching exercise on ratios introduced previously as well, but also put that in, but also maybe a matching exercise on inventory stock. So there are some options here to get them to have a bit of an introduction to the lesson rather than going straight into the new stuff. Okay, like I said, if you've introduced already the profitability ratios, you can refer to those. But like I said, also these key terms they know from the end of year statements, make sure they know them sort of from the introduction as well. Or you could move that part into the main part if you like. I thought then going to the main part, Toro, the two ratios were explained really well. Just one note, I think you asked and Helena kindly responded, what are the two ratios for liquidity? I would argue if they are new in this lesson, that the students probably don't know them. So you can't actually introduce those by question and answer. What ratios do you know, or what liquidity ratios? I think you said liquidity. Sorry, that's wrong. Oops. Just bear with. So what liquidity ratios do you know? Because as far as I understood, this was the first lesson on liquidity, so they wouldn't actually know these. So just bear that in mind when you introduce that here. You just actually have to introduce them first before you can ask them about it. I thought the formulas were presented really clearly, so well done for that. It was clear and big on the screen, which is what you want at this stage. I really liked the matching game as well. It was very engaging for students. But like I said before, consider using something like that at the beginning for the key terms used in the lesson. You can then use it again for the more specific ratio content after you've introduced the liquidity ratios. So I hope that is clear what I mean there. So that type of matching exercise, have it in your introductory phase for sort of the key terms of current assets, current liabilities, closing stock, inventory, and maybe even a quick recap on ratios you've done before, or on the purpose of ratio analysis or something like that, okay? And then use it for the specific and sort of focus on the specific specifics of liquidity ratio in the main part. So things like the formula, things like what the ratio actually calculates, but also remember there is a recommendation for the ideal ratio that you could include here. For the current ratio, that is 1.5 to 1, and for the liquid capital ratio, that is 1 to 1, isn't it? So you could, there's actually a fair bit of content here that you can use for a matching exercise, okay? I thought the exercise for the practice was good for ratio practice, and it's good that you checked whether students understood that as well. So whether they've got any question, that's always a really good idea. Okay. Then for the last bit, I think basically your lesson, Toro, finished at the sort of check of whether the students understood it, and that was it, wasn't it? That was when you finished. So I would highly recommend to end at this last phase that I always think is really, really important. So I said this part, in my opinion, was missing in your lesson. So make sure you add that. So use question and answers. So what have you learned? What were the important, what was the important content? So anything about the liquidity ratio. You could even go back to a quick sort of Kahoot or matching exercises, whatever you fancy. It shouldn't be too long. It should be really, really quick. So whatever is quickest here. And it would be a good idea also to set a homework task with sort of a selection of exercises on those liquidity ratios. Yeah, you can probably find quite a few online or make them up. Have a look in my presentation. I may have given you some ideas with numbers as well, because I do know that it's always time consuming to make them up yourself, okay? So if you can find them in a book or something, that's fair enough, isn't it? So make sure they have something to take away and practice these liquidity ratios. Also, make sure to link to the next lesson. So what can the students expect next? So I would follow this up, the theory lessons. So we've got the profitability would have been done at this stage, the liquidity would have been done at this stage. So I would follow this up with a lesson that focuses on interpreting these ratios now, a bit like that last question that you answered in the exam. So where they have both types of ratios, liquidity and profitability, and they are given numbers, and they have to now interpret whether a business, or evaluate whether a business has done better in the second year compared to the first. So you can announce in the next lesson, we're going to be looking at evaluating. If I put that evaluation, if I can spell that, no, I can't. Evaluation of ratios. And I would say both profitability and liquidity. Okay. So a bit like when we go back to Helena's lessons there, what can the students expect? I would say you probably would be moving on to liquidity ratios in the next lesson there. Okay. Any questions, Toro? Was that all clear in terms of feedback? So once again, to both of you, well done, and thank you very much for doing this and giving me some ideas as well. Might just look at the, oh, just going to look at the chat box. Oh, it's that. Okay. No, so Toro, you was that all clear, that feedback? Yeah, okay. No questions at this point? Oh, no, Toro, it was, you know, don't worry about it. This is a learning process, isn't it? And so you can, it's all easily rectified, isn't it? We all do, Toro, we all do. I'm still learning. I'm learning every day. Okay. So I will share this document where I summarize my feedback with Chandel, and then she can share that with you as well, and you can you have that in writing as well.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Hilke?
No, I think it's clear. Thank you very much, Hilke. You are a great teacher.
No, so thank you, guys.
All right. Okay, so this is actually the end of the teachers training seminar for business finance. Congrats, everybody. You finished.
Yeah, congratulations from me as well. Well done.
So, okay, what will happen is this. I will forward the Hilke's comments to all of the teachers, and then we will start to produce the teachers training certificates for all of the teachers. So once again, thank you everybody for taking the time to attend this course. Congratulations to all teachers. So any of the teachers today, if you guys have any questions that you have and this session has ended, please feel free to send an email to any of the IBE Alliance consultants or PDVL consultants, and we will try to help you to answer them. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.